Hey there, welcome to your April tarot reading. I'm super excited to do a tarot reading for you for the month of April. So many things happening this month astrologically. But yeah, no, I really feel like this month has a lot of energy to move forward. We've just entered spring, and with that first solar eclipse of the year and the new moon just happening, I think it's a really pivotal time to kind of move forward. And so this month I have 5 questions for you in the tarot spread. I'm starting with your current energy this month, also going into the month's theme or energy for the second card, doing an action slash focus spread, or action slash focus question. So like, how can your focus best serve you is a question I typically ask. But I also wanted to ask, in tandem with that question, what action you need to take for this month. So sometimes I think our focus can best serve us by taking an action. Sometimes our focus can best serve us by focusing on something. So I thought that that'd be an interesting question to ask, to see like if you get an action card or if you get something that you need to focus on. And then card 4 is what you need to embrace this month. And then the 5th card is the Divine Guiding Star card. So what is your divine guidance, or what will be your guiding star for this month? So without further ado, let's get into it. So I do have 3 spreads for you to choose from. I'm using the Lightseers Tarot deck this time around. I was going to get out all of my decks, but then I thought about it and I was like, I really am just being called to the Lightseers Tarot deck. So for the first spread, we are using Tiger Eye. Tiger Eye is this beautiful stone, really great for confidence and sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, just to help you kind of get into some movement. Howlite is going to be for our second reading. So Howlite is a really beautiful stone for anxiety and calming the mind and releasing stress. And then we have Iolite. So Iolite is a beautiful stone for connecting to your intuition and crown chakra and third eye. So let's just jump into the first reading. All right, so this is the Tiger Eye reading. I love this stone, really great for motivation and feelings of confidence and forward momentum. Let's see what this month looks like for you. Alrighty. So we have first card, what is your current energy? Ooh, 8 of Wands, interesting. Things up in the air, things kind of moving fast. Oh, I always feel like when I see this card, it's getting ready to be ready. So getting ready for when the action does come, that you can move fast with it. Or when an opportunity comes, anything regarding your passion or your creativity or your career. I also feel like it's like a lot of things happening at the same time. So maybe that's how you feel. You might also even feel like a lot of things up in the air, things haven't been decided yet, and so you're wondering like next steps and things like that. So what is the energy or the theme for this month for you? Oh, we got the Lover's card. I love this card. I love the Lover's card. Reciprocity. This month is going to be heating up for you, maybe in the romantic department, but I feel like this is more of a heating up of your passions because of this 8 of Wands, and then the Lovers. You might be called to make a choice between work or your career or your love life, or like I feel like you might be called to make a choice between a couple of things that might be the things that are up in the air maybe. What is your action, or how can your focus best serve you? Ooh, we got the 10 of Wands. Lots of wands here, lots of fiery energy. So don't carry everything on your own. You're almost there. It's kind of like the final push before you move on to the next steps. Let's see what you need to embrace this month. What will you need to embrace this month? More wands. This is incredible. So Knight of Wands energy. So needing to embrace your passion, your creativity. I think that it's pretty clear the choice that you're going to make your choice based on your desires, like what your desires are, what your needs are. And then what will be your guiding star for the month? Interesting. 5 of Swords. Your guiding star will be not to let the past determine your future, especially when you're making a choice. So if you have a choice to make it with reciprocity, make the choice with confidence here. Sometimes it can feel like we're lacking confidence, especially when it comes to the choices that we make to move forward. I always think that we can't choose wrong, even if we feel like we could have made a different decision. Sometimes it feels like when we're stuck between two things that we really love, two things that we really desire, we allow our past choices or the past things that have happened to us to be something that kind of keeps us stuck in these patterns. I feel like one of the reasons you got this ready to be ready card, things are up in the air, things are moving fast, in your current energy is because part of the past is pulling you back. Part of the past choices are pulling you back. So I see some blood here too in this card, and then someone's kind of like vindicated here. And this person in the forefront, is like, okay, I am like feeling remorse, having feelings of like things didn't work out, having feelings like I lost or whatever. And so I love that the Five of Swords is your guiding star. Sometimes people look at this card and they're like, oh my God, that's kind of one of the worst cards in the tarot. Like, people are scared of the swords. But I think the swords are a reminder that we have the key to unlock our thoughts. We have the key to move forward. We have the key to make the choices. We can learn from our lessons, and we can allow those lessons to pull us forward. I feel like that's going to be your biggest guidance. Instead of looking to the past and saying, I should not have done this, I should not have done that. Maybe look to the past, glean some lessons from the past, glean some lessons of like, what was it that didn't work, and why didn't it work? And maybe look at this with a little bit of curiosity. Look at the choice that you're making with a little bit of curiosity. Look at the choice that you're making with reciprocity. See if you can balance the feminine and masculine energy, the being, the feeling, the receiving, with the doing, the thinking, the analytical side of you. Also, know that you don't have to do it all on your own. You can ask for help. You're almost there. Like, it's kind of like your final push, especially with that being your action. Learn to be softer with yourself, but also still have discipline. So it's like, there's so much flexibility in boundaries. There's so much flexibility in structure. So having structure gives you kind of like a parameter to play around in. So like, for example, like, just to do like a little analogy, like, I'm using this camera here. I have a parameter that I can place my cards, but the flexibility happens with these cards, with what I choose to interpret or intuit from these cards. And I choose to say what I need to say in this structure, but there's still flexibility within the structure. So I know where I am in space. And so maybe just checking to see where you are in space. Maybe that's also part of your action. I'm also feeling called to let you know that when we try to do things all on our own, it doesn't always mean that we're being strong. Sometimes that means that we are not allowing other people who love and care for us to be able to help us. On the flip side of that, if we're always giving too much of what our needs are to other people, to the maybe not the right people, then we can also feel overburdened. So if you're feeling overburdened, your action is to kind of let some of that go and let others help you, or see if you can allow the universe to help you. If you can't like really trust others, find someone who is trustworthy to be able to carry some of that load. Embrace your passions, embrace your creativity, embrace that inner fire, embrace your healing, embrace your joy, embrace your love, embrace your acceptance, embrace the shadow within. The shadow is the lessons that can help move us forward. So that is the reading for the Tiger Eye. All right, so now we have our Howlite reading. So Howlite is a really beautiful stone for anxiety, for soothing anxiety, not to give you anxiety, but to soothe anxiety, to help you get some sleep. It's really good for insomnia too. So If you're ever not feeling like you can fall asleep, just go ahead and grab some Howlite. I usually keep some by my nightstand, by my bed. So we are diving into the energy for this month. And just so you know, I do have, it's a really nice day. So I have the door open here. So if you hear the birds chirping and nature sounds outside, I don't know if you can hear it, but I certainly can. It's a really, really nice day out here. So, all right. So we are diving in and asking for current energy for this month. Ooh, King of Pentacles. Nice. All right. So this is stability. This is loyalty. This is kind of like taking a rest. This is like your hard work having been paid off, and you're kind of like sitting here waiting to see your next steps, but also feeling into the abundance that you've created in your life, whether that's abundance of space or time, or abundance of love, or abundance of freedom. I feel like it's an abundance of all of those things, an amalgamation of all of those things. And so that is your current energy. I like that current energy. Really nice. The sitting. It feels like you've done a lot of work. Okay. And then what is this month's theme or energy for you? Oh, we got the Ace of Wands. Interesting. So I feel like he's looking to the future. You're looking to the future of like, what is my next step? What is my next journey? What is my next new venture? You might be having a lot of ideas. You might be it's funny because I was going to say ideals. So maybe there are deals on the table for you. Maybe there are new adventures. Maybe there are new ways of doing something that you love. Maybe there's a new door opening up for you. I like that. What is your action, or how can your focus best serve you this month? Ooh, Temperance. Interesting. So, usually when I see this card, I talk about healing, I talk about alchemy, but I just heard moderation, which is typically, when you look at this card, what most people think of as like moderation, do everything in moderation. I feel like I'm being called to really lean into the moderation, especially with the King of Pentacles, because he has moderated his life. He has, done the disciplined work of showing up and knowing when to rest, and knowing when to like plant the seeds and watch them grow. And so he's done all that work. And so I feel like I'm being called to ask you for this month to be everything in moderation, to see the dark and the light, but to allow both to be an equal balance, or keep your center. I feel like keeping your center is going to be really important this month. And also to look at things from both sides of the coin. Don't just look at things on one side versus the other. Don't just allow yourself to not look at all the interesting fine print. Interesting. They're saying fine print, especially if you got like new deals going on, especially if you have like a new venture happening. Be sure to look at all of it. Just because someone presents you with an opportunity doesn't always mean that that opportunity is the one for you. Let yourself sit with it, kind of like the King of Pentacles is sitting with it, especially if there's a deal on the table for you. If it has to do with your career, or if it has to do with a business you want to open. They're talking about businesses. And so if it has to do with something like that, like allow yourself to kind of just sit with things. Just because someone gives you an opportunity, a new job, look at both sides of it. Look at the pros and the cons. Look at the dark and the light. Look at the your downtime plus your work time as well. Alrighty. What will you need to embrace, or what can you embrace this month? We have got, the Six of Swords. Embrace moving forward. Embrace that, you have like gotten past the stormy waters. Like there may have been a turbulent time. Again, you worked really hard to get to where you're at, to get to these new opportunities. So allow yourself to embrace the fact that you are being guided 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got lots of guardian angels here, or your spirit team here, just really kind of pulling you forward. 3 pulling you forward in specific. But it's funny because I said 5 and there's 6 because it's 6 of Swords. Really interesting. So you may have your spirit team here. If you're listening to this and you're like, okay, I know 5 people who are definitely on my spirit team, then this is definitely a message for you. But know that you've been pulled through that tough time. Remember to fall back in love with synchronicity. Sometimes I think we forget to look for the miracles, and then we're like, oh, we don't see them, but we're also maybe not appreciating the small signs and the small signs of synchronicity as well. So divine guidance or your guiding star. I love this. 9 of Cups, a full cup to jump from happiness, joy, completion. Your every wish is granted. Notice that she's jumping from a full chest. So you have to give to yourself first before you can give to others. I love that this is your guiding star. Your guiding star, I feel like, is a message of hope and joy, and like, again, like after some time of turbulence, like it's time to kind of open up to the world again. It's time to kind of like set your sights open, and I feel like this is going to be almost like a theme for summer for you. Just with all the yellow and the beautiful opening, heart opening. Sometimes we have to close ourselves off to what's the word, to kind of heal. Sometimes we have to close ourselves off. We have to have that period of darkness, and then we can open with our arms wide. Then we can open with a heart, with our heart really wide. We can open with a genuine, authentic energy that'll carry us through and catapult us through the moments of joy and love and peace and all of those things that we need to help us move forward, all those things that we need to kind of guide us into a different way of being and feeling. And I think that that's a wonderful thing that we get from, a wonderful gift that we get from the universe. It's also being grateful for the gifts that are on their way, especially with this Ace of Wands, being grateful for the gifts that are on their way. It's choosing joy, it's choosing gratitude, it's choosing abundance, right? This is after a period of feeling blocked, kind of moving forward. This is harmony. This is also prosperity. This is enjoying and playing, and also diving into sense of awe and wonder. So if you can allow yourself to really dive into a sense of awe and wonder, really like kind of keep your heart open, that will really be helpful for you. Remember that the hard times that you have passed through are behind you. Remember to kind of look at both the dark and the light, look at the shadow, and allow yourself to integrate that. And everything in moderation, especially when you're getting new opportunities, especially when you're getting new ventures or new things handed towards you. Know that you don't have to say yes to everything. You can also say no. You've done a lot of hard work to get to where you are. Sometimes we just need to sit with it. We don't always have to keep healing and healing and healing. You are already whole. Sometimes we have to go through that period, right? But it feels like that period is behind you. We don't always have to look for things to heal. Sometimes we can just bask in the joy and wonder of life and just be where we are. Really dive into that sense of being. Let the opportunities come to you, and know that you don't have to say yes to everything. And know that you are already whole and healed. Know that the worst is behind you, and it is time to move forward with an open heart. I love this. All right, Howlite reading. Again, Howlite is a beautiful stone for third eye, crown chakra connection, connecting to your intuition and your dreams, and that inner knowing, that connection to higher self, the connection to source, connection with your soul. I love that. Okay, so what is the current energy for you this month? Ooh, making a choice, moving forward. Maybe you actually might be really moving. You might move. Interesting. And like leaving your comfort zone behind. Sometimes when we're so comfortable in what we've been doing, and it's just the way we've been doing it, we just keep doing it, and we forget that we do have a choice to choose something different. We always have a choice to choose something different, but sometimes we're just so comfortable in our day-to-day, and sometimes you might have even already made the choice, but you're just now learning new ways to be in your choice that you've made. Maybe you made a move recently, and maybe now it's time to kind of like start, once you've settled in, now start doing new things in the new place that you're at. Sometimes we can forget that connection with self. So this is really reconnecting with yourself, reconnecting with your desires, reconnecting with that joy within you, reconnecting with whatever lights you up, right? Okay, this month's theme or energy for you is, ooh, judgment. I like that. So sometimes this kind of what I was saying just a few seconds ago, like reconnection with self. Sometimes we make these moves, we make these choices, we make a choice to move forward, but we forget like certain aspects of ourselves along the way while we're expanding, while we're moving forward. And this is a reminder to let yourself off the hook for any past mistakes that you may have made, any past choices that you may have made. You may feel pretty far from your body as well. I'm being called to talk about the body, talk about like exercise, or what's the connection to your body. Doesn't necessarily mean exercise, but I'm seeing someone stretching and someone like being a little bit more flexible just because she's also stretching, right? It's dancer, right? And dancers are very muscular, right? And so it's like, how can you move with fluidity within your body? How can you reconnect to your body? Sometimes we forget to connect to our body. We're so much in the spiritual that we forget that we are physical. So reconciling the physical with the spiritual and reconciling within your heart and soul what it is that your body needs to move forward, right? Okay, action, focus. And this is a major arcana card too. So this is also like kind of like a period of where you may be allowing yourself to let yourself off the hook and kind of release some of those past judgments you may have placed on yourself, thereby releasing past judgments that you may have placed on others, or maybe current judgments. Ooh, your action focus, Two of Cups. This is a beautiful action or focus. This is a card of partnerships. This is a card of love. This is a card of joy. This is a card of connection. So your action and your focus will be to connect. Maybe that's why they had me talk about the body. Maybe also parts of you like feels like the body wasn't where you wanted it to be. Maybe you weren't strong enough or didn't feel like you had giving yourself enough permission to be in your body. And so maybe there are some things that you went away from regarding the body, so it made it hard for you to connect with others. Maybe it was just a time thing or a space thing. Maybe it was just a location thing. And so now that you've moved, now that you're kind of settled in, now that you're letting yourself off the hook, it is safe to have relationships. It is safe to have fun. And these relationships don't have to be like lasting relationships. These friendships, these companionships don't have to be like things that last forever. Maybe they're just for now things. And sometimes that's okay too. Like we don't have to form bonds that will, last eons. Maybe these are just superficial bonds, and sometimes that's okay too, as long as they light you up, as long as they fill your cup, as long as they make you feel good. How can you focus on that for yourself, and how can you create that partnership within yourself? Maybe this is also falling back in love with yourself, falling back in love with who you are and the things that you've accomplished and the things that you've done. Maybe just who you are. You don't have to accomplish anything to love yourself. Maybe remembering your inherent worthiness. That's also part of it, like remembering the inherent worthiness within you. Okay, what to embrace this month for you? Ooh, Page of Wands. I love it. Like, I think that there's just so many wands in today's cards, today's reading. I think it's really funny. But this is also, like, this reminds me of the energy of, like, being open, being inquisitive, being, like, fanciful, like, being curious, and being curious about your new choice, being curious about moving forward. Maybe this is also like learning yourself again, learning your likes and dislikes, learning what you now like again, relearning your values, maybe relearning your core desired feelings. Maybe after a period of winter, of darkness, now is a time to kind of spring forward. I don't know where you are in the world, but maybe even gleaming a bit of sunshine, gleaming a bit of joy, gleaming a bit of playfulness within your life, a bit of curiosity, sparking your inner fire, like remembering what truly sparks your inner fire, trying some new things and trying some old things that you haven't done in a while. I feel like that's also part of what to embrace this month, especially if your action is either falling back in love with yourself or creating these partnerships, really sparking, like, I feel like that also goes hand in hand. Like, I'm seeing and feeling like being outside, being in, not in nature so much, but being like social, a little bit more social as well, like showing parts of yourself, like kind of like daring to be a little bit more social, daring to be a little bit less judgy of self and less judgy of others, and not in a bad way, but just, like, kind of sometimes we have preconceived notions of what others might think of us or what we think of ourselves, and we have these preconceived notions of what things might happen if we put ourselves out there. And I hate to use that term, but I feel like that's what we're being called to do, is put ourselves out there and to be open and to be curious and to be like, okay, this lights me up. Let me kind of follow the signs of synchronicity, the signs of things that light me up. Let me follow that inspired action, right? All right. And then what will be your divine guiding star for the month? And we have got, a strength. So you've got 2 major arcana cards in your reading. And I love this so much because you've got the judgment card, letting yourself off the hook. Once you let yourself off the hook, you can be in these partnerships that are going to be joyful, that are going to be reciprocal, that are going to be beneficial for both parties. There's not like a give and 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 no receiving. This is a giving and receiving. This is a good partnership. These are good feelings that you're having because you've connected with your intuition, because you've healed a lot. So your divine guiding star, remember to shine your courage in the face of uncertainty. So we don't ever know what tomorrow will bring. We never know how we'll react to any situation. However, what we do know is that we can always look within, even during, before, or after a situation. Let yourself off the hook. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you've been working towards a goal that has to do with your body, lean into the strength. Really lean into the strength. Like, lean into the strength of your body. Lean into the strength of like what it feels like to be physical. Sometimes we forget about our physicality, especially in the spiritual world, especially when people are trying to do like all of this work and healing within emotionally. Sometimes we forget about our body. And so this is a sign to be reconnected to your body, be reconnected to the corporeal part of you, to remember your power, remember your beauty, remember your heart, remember your strength and your inspiration. And by remembering your strength and inspiration and being patient with yourself and giving yourself grace and having this quiet determination, you thereby allow others, or you give others permission to do the same. So finding that gentle balance between the lioness or the lion within you and the sweet, gentle lamb. Whether you're male or female, I feel like this is a way of balancing that energy, the masculine and the feminine. Remembering to find some steadiness. And again, just giving yourself some grace, because you've already made the choice to move forward. Once you let yourself off the hook, you can have better relationships. And even if you already are in a relationship or already have partnerships, and this could be like work partnerships, these could be personal, intimate relationships, this could be friendships, whatever. Sometimes this is also, this card can be an improvement of the relationship that you currently have. We have to release judgment. If we're moving to a new space, we can't take our old ideas with us. And so once we release those old ideas, we can have these better relationships. We can have these new friendships as well. And then that will allow us to be open. That will allow us to be curious and tapping into the strength that we have. So that is your reading for the month of April. This was super quick. I was surprised that Source didn't have like a lot more to say, but sometimes not saying a lot allows us to kind of have some deeper realization. So I'd love to hear from you if you have anything that resonated with you, if there's some questions that you have. If you want to submit a question for the next month's tarot reading, feel free to do that. There is a form available in the membership vault, but also a form available in the description of this video. And that is it for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.